Well, we want to welcome you. I'm Bill Merkh. No, wait, go ahead. You do your.
No, I'm Bill Merkh.
Yeah.
I think I'll be Bill Merkh.
Really?
Yeah.
We're going to do Spartacus? So, I'm Bill Merkh. Welcome to Outside the Sanctuary. If you haven't already subscribed, liked, and followed, you're missing out. Do that. We need that. That's all I got.
Yes.
And today I am joined by
Yes.
two co-hosts and an awesome guest.
We do indeed.
So, should I start with my one co-host?
Katrina McDonald.
Katrina.
Okay.
And I'm Vince McDonald.
But nobody knew that.
And
Yes, please.
Vince.
And we have a special guest.
My favorite shader.
Okay.
One of
Linda
my good
Introduce
friends,
yourself.
Lisa Lotierzo.
or
Very-
Lynda Lotierzo.
I'm kidding.
Get
I
your
knew
name.
that.
Now everyone's
You had
gonna think
already.
your name is
I was
Lisa.
going to joke, and you had already said Linda. And I was like,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yes, and our show tonight is the life and times of Lynda Lotierzo. I
Oh,
believe that's what
yeah.
this is about. It is
Sounds great.
good to have you folks. And we know a lot of you listen while driving or going to sleep or whatever it may be, and some of you watch. And I just want to say that while I was, that I'm noticing that you're putting in some effort, Bill, you and the broadcast crew, and the camera view is getting better,
Mhm.
as well as the sound. So,
Yeah, well, we're trying.
Mhm.
Every week we try just a little bit harder and fail sometimes, but that's our lives.
Sounding good.
Yeah.
Looking good.
That's
Thanks.
right. That's right.
Thanks.
We know because of the
It's
major.
not you.
It's,
Yeah.
now that we have some major corporate sponsors, we've been able to.
We don't have any corporate sponsors. We would like some corporate sponsors. That would be great.
Jeffrey Lurie, if you're listening, would gladly be the official
Eagles.
Outside the Sanctuary podcast of the Philadelphia Eagles.
I like that.
So let's get into questions.
Great.
How about
Yeah.
that?
All right.
All right.
So Lynda Lotierzo,
That's
I
me.
grew up knowing the name Lotierzo before I ever met
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Because I'm a Maple Shade guy, and
And I
in
think
case you guys are unaware, Lotierzo is a very Maple Shade family.
yes.
They
Yes,
they're from, and they one of the gang had a legendary house there on Linwood Avenue. That,
Mhm.
like the fence, it's that's Lotierzo.
The nativity in the
Was that
in the,
was that like the grandpa?
Yeah.
So who
that
was
was
that?
Grandpa.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mm.
but her
Grandpa Ray.
her husband's
Oh.
uncle, Fran Lotierzo, was
Yes.
my Babe Ruth baseball coach.
Yeah, he's one of my father-in-law's brothers.
Yes,
Wow.
and our dugout was a pigsty. I
Yeah,
gotta tell you, Franny Lotierzo will probably admit to that.
probably.
Wow.
Your dugout.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
not a place of cleanliness.
Ah,
And I'm sure that's what you thought you were going to be talking about when we asked you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's talk about the dugout at
Yeah.
Maple Shade.
No,
That's
but
very
anyhow,
interesting.
so was it
They
like
were a whole
is the
baseball
Lotierzo family bigger
Bigger
than
baseball-
your maiden name is Zimmerman?
yes.
Because
So
we are blessed to know your dad.
everybody knows George.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. And was the Lotierzo family bigger than the Zimmerman family?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. My
So that-
dad's an only child. My mom had one brother, and then I have three cousins. Yeah,
Is
it's very small.
Lotierzo Italian?
Lotierzo's Italian. Yeah,
Okay, you're not Italian.
I'm not
No,
Italian.
your husband and his
family. Is
family are Italian. Okay, so your girls are half Italian.
Yeah,
You got three.
three.
But
Yeah.
in common with you, like
Yeah.
in other words, what I mean is when the size of our family, you were one of two.
Correct.
Well,
Mhm.
Vince was only one of three. Never mind.
I was
I'm
one of
thinking-
two.
I'm mixing
It's
generations.
you.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
you
you
and your
guys have,
siblings
like,
brought
84
the
siblings.
girth of the
Yeah, my
McDonald
father-in-law is one of six.
Okay.
So,
Right.
and they
Yeah.
all, except for Keith and Larry, who had no children, the other four each had three.
Wow.
So yeah, and most of them, well, I think it were pretty much just us now in Maple Shade, but yeah.
Hmm.
Now you've raised. I don't know, Bill. You got questions you're going to shoot in there because
keep going.
I won't go in order. You have three daughters,
Yeah, I
beautiful
do.
daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they? I think I'm correct. Weren't they all teenagers at the same time?
Yes.
What's their age difference?
So Juliana's 25,
Uh-huh.
Marissa's
Get it?
23, and
Mhm.
Kayla's 20. Will be
Okay.
21. So there's like 2 years between Jules and Marissa, and then another almost 3 between Marissa and
Yeah.
Kayla. So
Okay.
yeah.
So pretty
Yeah, I
close
had
together.
3 under 5 at one point.
Yeah.
At the
Okay.
age of 5.
Yeah.
Now we can't edit anything.
That was a lot.
So whatever answers you give, if you have to think about it. But is one of your daughters more like you than the others? Or
Yeah,
the-
Marissa.
Okay.
Abs 100%.
Okay.
Mm.
Marissa, yeah.
Okay.
She's she's
Okay.
me.
So
Yeah.
if she's like you, tell us about you.
Well,
Let's hear about you.
That's
Like,
good. Yeah.
Stubborn.
stubborn? Okay. No, I mean,
Mouthy.
like,
No, I'm just
let's,
kidding.
All the best qualities.
let's
so yeah, where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Delran.
Okay.
Moved there when I was it was 2.5 when we moved there. My parents are from Philly.
Oh,
So yeah, from the Mayfair area.
okay.
They met in Luther League. They were both teachers in Luther League at the Lutheran.
That's
St.
right.
John's.
I remember him telling me that.
Yeah,
Mm.
St. John's. They
I
met
had
at
never
Lincoln
heard
High
of
School.
Luther League. I was like, what?
Yeah, they're
Like
both
CYO
teachers.
kind of.
Yeah, youth group leaders.
Yeah.
They met there, and then they went to high school, different years, but they both went to Lincoln High School. Lived semi close to each other, but yeah. And then
Okay.
they moved to Levittown and then moved to Delran. So I
And
grew
what-
up in Delran.
What took you to Maple Shade?
Raised families from here.
So you
And
met your husband.
So I met Ray through his sister. Actually, I was a hairdresser, and we met at my job. We worked together, and she introduced me to Ray. And,
Mm.
yeah,
And that was it.
and that was it. And
Okay.
Maple Shade was a town we could afford
Oh, okay.
when we moved
I
out.
bet-
So,
yeah. And you've been in the same house since you guys got married?
Yeah, we've been there 27
Wow.
years. Yeah,
Wow.
Which, may I say, a little personal side note.
okay.
yeah,
She lives right down the street from
Yeah.
where I grew up.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I rode my bicycle past their house all the time before she was ever there.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
but it's
Yeah.
for me, it's like, wow, Spruce Avenue, there
I
she
know.
is, right at the
Yeah, I like our street. We have
Yeah,
our,
it's a good street.
It is. We
Yeah.
have older neighbors, but we just actually had a young couple move in. But a lot of older neighbors around us. No issues. You
Is
know.
there anybody like me who you just see
Jeez.
standing
No,
Standing-
nobody's like you.
across your street from you, looking at that giant house? And because when we were kids, that was the corner store
Yes.
right across the street.
And
from
my
you.
neighbor at the time worked
It
at
was
that corner
Praise.
store. My
Praise.
old neighbor.
And you literally, there was like one jar of tomato sauce, one jar of
Mhm.
peanut butter, and he had one of those long, handle things where you would squeeze it so he could reach all the way up to
Yeah.
the top shelf and get you what you needed.
Wow.
But we usually went there for lunch meat. But
So the lunch meat counters, the people that moved in there a few years ago, well, they've been there probably about 10 years now, but when they moved in there, the deli counters were still there
yeah,
that they were cleaning out. They came over, they're like, what? I'm like, it used to be a store. That's all
Wow.
I know.
so it is. It's just, I mean, I know people may be like, "What's this podcast about?" It's about Lynda. We're interviewing her, but
No, you're fine.
but we hit on subjects like bouncing around, and one of the things.
Nobody
that
knows the
stands
Zimmerman
out to me
family.
is-
Everybody knows the Lotierzo
No, but
family.
it's that sense of like being like. Sometimes I stand there and I think this is silly, but I almost am like, I just wanted all the neighbors to come out and I could tell them all about this 50 years ago here or what it was like on this.
So I don't see you standing across the street, but I used to see Frank Borelli come up and play with my dogs every day.
Wow.
He loved my dogs.
Yeah.
One day he told me he looks through my window to see if I'm home. I mean,
All
One way to ring the doorbell.
anyway. So you say nobody knows the Zimmerman
We love
family.
it.
I know Robert Zimmerman.
I don't know anyone.
Really?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you
Robert.
know, now,
Do you know George Zimmerman?
No,
Everybody
I
knows
know
George
who
Zimmerman.
No,
He is-
Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan
George
is Robert Zimmerman. That's
Oh.
Bob Dylan's real name.
I never knew
Well,
that.
none of us
Oh,
know
I-
that.
How would you not know that?
Because we know him as Bob.
Because I'm a slow train coming.
That's not.
It's a Bob Dylan song.
Yeah, but it's-
It's one of his Christian ones that
Never
you're
listened to
probably like,
Bob
that
Dylan.
was one of his.
How you doing?
Yeah, let's go Masters of War.
What? How's it
What's
going?
that?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
I'm sorry. I'm
But-
sorry. So go ahead.
Her father is one of the best dressed people at the 9 o'clock service.
Yeah.
Her father.
Mhm.
Yes, he is always in
Your
Suit and tie.
sharp looking suit and tie. And
Yeah,
and I
sorry,
love
Colin.
George. And George, if you happen to listen to this one podcast, I'm not
Oh, he will.
offended
Oh,
at
no.
all
Wait.
that he
Wait,
says to me,
Is that who you're?
everything would be better if I put on a suit and tie.
Oh yeah.
He also tells me why, his reasons for why he falls asleep during my sermon, but that's okay. That's a different.
He doesn't fall asleep now that he eats mint and drinks water.
George is great. He's great. He's great. He really is. And
That would,
That's a
that
good
would
trick.
teach you to
I'm gonna
get
have
better.
to-
he has
Yeah.
really been a real encouragement.
No,
Yeah.
just
Is
He-
that-
get
did
mints
he get
and
baptized
water.
with?
He did get baptized with Kayla. Yeah, it was.
Okay, that was That was an emotional
He used to-
service.
Yes.
He used to. It was. He used to come just on the holidays when I started here back in 2016. So he would come the holidays, but it was culture shock for him because he's so
Sure.
used to the Lutheran church.
So
And-
what brought you here in 2016?
So I came out here. I came to a Christmas concert they had in 2015. I don't know. My friend Barb brought me, and Kayla and her friend.
Wait a
And-
minute. Was it was it?
It was like a little band,
And did we
kind of
support the Camden Mission or something?
possibly. I
Is
don't
that, there you
remember.
go. You got her.
It was you.
It
Yeah,
was.
me.
I
It
do.
was.
Oh,
it-
of
we-
course.
Hi, how are you?
Bill had
Oh.
at the
So we
time
were
for
listening to
yeah,
Pearl Jam.
but we no,
Oh,
They
But
were.
it
They were
was-
playing Pearl Jam.
but it was like a two. But no, but it was like hour and a half long. It was a
Yes.
long. Yeah,
It was. I remember enjoying it, and then I wanted to come out. I think I came to one service in the beginning of January, and then I called my mom, and I was like, "Am I going against the Lutheran Church? Like, what do I? You know." Even though I wasn't always going there, I
Yeah.
still thought, this is how I was raised, Lutheran. And she was like, Lynda, you got to go where you're comfortable.
Mm.
And I did, and I came, and then
I have said honestly, probably hundreds of times. There's no Lutheran Jesus. There's no
Yeah.
Baptist Jesus.
Yeah.
There's no Catholic Jesus. There's
Yeah.
no Presbyterian Jesus.
right.
There's Jesus.
But before you're saved, you don't really
Right.
realize it.
Right. But there's
Yeah.
I agree.
Not that you don't realize it, but
No, it can be part of your
Mhm.
identity.
Yeah.
This is
Mhm.
who you grew up as, and
Yeah.
am I being, just like you said. But that's why Jesus says to us that verse that if someone loves father or mother or sister or brother more than me, and they're not really, the point he's making is your loyalty has to be to me above all other bonds and traditional ties and whatnot.
Mm.
So he's not really saying, I've come to tear apart your family relationships. Matter of
Mhm.
fact, I believe Jesus makes them more beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you come to Jesus and your family member doesn't, it still has the ability to improve your relationship
Yeah.
because of what. But I think Jesus made clear that, hey, there are going to be some of those things where a family member's like, what? You're leaving this is where grandparents went and this went.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be saying that to somebody from Emmanuel if
Mm.
they were like going, well, it's over. I'm going to be going to this church over here because I just have really felt like I'm growing over there. I'd say, look, I'm not going to fight with you. Like
Mhm.
it isn't like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah.
you made you're being unloyal to the Lord because you're leaving here. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No. So once
So you
January
came?
came up,
That's great.
I did. I came, and then
Mm-hmm.
February 28th, Pastor Vince did a sermon on Ithacus and
Wow.
Philippians.
Ichthus, right.
Ithacus, I pronounced that
Ichthus,
wrong.
no,
but
right.
That's okay.
yeah. So that's the day I was saved. I remember it.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
And I always
our God
thought I
Savior.
was like, I've always believed that Jesus died on the cross for us. Like
Right.
that has always been in me, but I never had that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just something about that service that just really, like, I felt it on the
Mm.
inside,
Yeah. And that's
Wow.
for some, it's that is the moment that they have come to a new faith in Christ. For others, it's a moment where maybe the Lord saw the faith of their heart as a little
Mhm.
child, but they just
Yeah.
where it was clouded away. It was,
Mhm.
and this was the moment now, if in a more mature time, where they're saying, Jesus,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
wow, you and me.
Yeah. It's just, it
You know.
hit me. So, and then I was baptized that year, and then here we are. Now,
What year did
now
you get
George
baptized
comes
again?
and
What year was it you got baptized?
2016.
2016?
yeah,
Wow.
October 30th,
Mm.
2016.
Mischief
You
night.
got
Yeah.
got your dates down.
You do.
Yeah.
That-
Certain
that's-
things
that's
are
a-
very
that's a-
important for me to
Yeah.
remember. Don't ask me.
No.
Don't ask me yesterday's date because I have no idea.
No, me either.
We're jumping around, and we will.
Yeah,
We'll go into
no,
a
you're
little
fine.
issues. But are you currently on the Maple Shade Board of Education?
I still am on the Maple Shade board. I'm in tenure now.
How did that?
Wow.
Not tenure, but 10
Yeah, yeah.
years.
So-
So yeah, get tenure because I'm not employed.
Yeah. Well,
Fair enough.
wait.
I didn't know
hold
the
on.
difference.
This is great.
So
Tenure.
I'm glad
Tenure.
you told me.
Do teachers still get tenure? Is that still a thing? So teachers get tenure when they've been
Yeah,
in there
after
long enough.
Seniority.
But
Like seniority.
Yeah.
what got you
Yeah.
on there? Did some And you don't have if it's controversial.
It's not
But I
controversial.
mean, was this just a
If
burden?
it is controversial,
kids-
let's hear it.
Bill wants to know.
I know.
All right.
Bill wants.
Oh no,
Bill wants to know
Give us
who
the
was
tea.
it that
Give me
did
the
something
tea.
that went.
no.
But
How did you get on the board
was
of
it a burden
education?
just to be? Hey, my kids are in school and I want to like.
No, so I was very, very involved with the PTA.
Okay.
I was the VP over at Steinhauer because that's where Jules was. I kind of
Mm.
followed the older one through the
Mm.
crowd. Well, and then the younger one. But
Yeah. Did they all go to the same schools?
so
Not maybe
at
together,
one point,
but they
were
followed
all
each other?
at high school. Well, Kayla was junior high, and then the other two were high school, but they were
Okay.
all in the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jules drove at that point, so it was great because she got to take them to school.
Mm.
But no, so yeah,
I had
I
to walk
started in
to Maple Shade.
2015. I know, from Spruce Avenue, way up by Mill, Mill and Spruce. I know where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back in 2015, seems like everything happened in 2015.
That's a big year.
2015
It wasn't
and
That's
big year.
2016.
I tell
That
you what
year
made it a
Julie
big
and Brian
year.
met in 2015.
And after the year that we began the Maple Shade Police Chaplain Association.
Really?
So
Yeah,
2015.
so-
go ahead.
Hey.
Yeah, I
Beth
got nothing.
Norsha
Really?
and Chuck
Very-
Kaufman, who is raised by marriage aunt's brother.
Okay.
Anyway,
Mhm.
they came to me and they had said there was a spot open
Hmm.
and they knew that I was involved with the community through PTA
Mhm.
and stuff. And it asked me, and at first I was like, I don't know if I want to be on the board of education. Like that's a
Yeah.
big thing. And yeah, I ended up, a spot had opened because somebody had resigned. So I took that spot. And then a week later, the business administrator said, if you want to do this, you got to run in November. We need your signatures now.
Oh,
and I'm like,
yeah.
but I don't even know if I really am going to like this. Like, you
Yeah.
have to get,
Right.
but I didn't. So I just got my signatures, got it all
Wow.
in, and here we are.
Wow.
To be on the
later.
board of ed, you need a certain amount
Yeah.
of
So every time you go for, I'm on a 3-year seat. So every 3
Okay.
years, or 2.5.
you have
Yeah.
to show that there's some community
Yeah, so
support
now
for
it's
you.
25 signatures you need. It
Okay.
used to be 12,
Okay.
including
Wow.
your own. So you
Wow.
could sign for yourself. But yeah, you get all your signatures and sign away, and
Wow.
they submit it to the county
Do
superintendent.
they vote?
and
Does he? Like, does
It is
that
an
happen?
election.
Yeah, it's an election.
Okay. Yeah.
Every
Right.
so often, I'll have people in the church call me,
So
Mr. Vince, I see when there's more people
Yeah.
than there is seats.
yeah,
Oh,
You know,
yeah, okay.
Who is it that,
Yeah.
who do you
that'll be this
that
year.
kind of
I feel
stuff.
like there's 2 running or 2 on the current board, and then I think there's 3 or 4 running. So we'll see.
Okay.
See what happens. Mine was last November, so I have another 3. I don't know whether I'll stay on it. I'm still debating.
Mm.
I love it though, because I mean, I don't have kids there, but it's
I was
about
just
the
gonna
kids.
ask, is it different not having your kids? in the
No,
schools
because
or-
I've never been into it for my kids. It's never
Okay.
been a thing for me. It's
Yeah.
been for all the kids,
Yeah.
and I want all the kids to succeed, and all the
Mhm.
kid, whether that's through going to college or trade school or just having a job. Ray's been at ShopRite for
Mhm.
30 years now. He did go to
Mhm.
college for drafting, but I don't feel
Mm.
every child is for college and
Right.
whatever. So I want everybody to have the same opportunities
Yeah.
I want them all to have the same opportunities.
Yeah.
So,
I admire that. That's a great
so that's
reason
why
to
I
do
stay
it.
on it. I
Yeah.
want it for the kids. If they're in it for any other reason than the kids, then you shouldn't be on the board.
So, and is it,
Sure.
and I,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't want you to, obviously we want to respect the confidentiality and stuff of the board.
I won't say anything about that.
No, but is it,
We getting that phone call, Lynda, you're now off the board.
yeah. No, I didn't know, like
No.
being on the board, is it more you're dealing with financial issues? Are you dealing more with, problems? Is it dealing more with the township people coming to the meeting and they bring up the issues? Like,
Township doesn't really come to the meeting. So we have committees. So all of us are on a certain committee. I'm on the curriculum committee.
okay.
There's 3 of us on that. Some people are on 2 committees. I'm on one just because with work, it's just hard for me to be on more than one. But we have, a finance committee. We have a facility committee, policy committee, curriculum, and negotiations, which
Yeah.
I can't be on. I'm conflicted with my Uncle Mike in there. So, but yeah, we all are part of committees that usually, depending on the committee, some meet once a month, some meet every couple months, curriculums like every 2 or 3 months. So yeah, and then we take in whatever they're bringing us, and then we bring it. They put it up on the board, and it's usually in the agenda. And we approve it or not approve it.
So do we get a lot of people from town at the meetings? Board of Ed?
No.
Okay.
No.
Although we do try
If there's I didn't know if there's there'll be an issue that brings. Yeah.
once in a while, you
Yeah.
get a group out there.
Right.
But I mean, there's nothing. We're a board.
Yeah.
We're not a single person. We
Yeah.
can't do anything for anybody. We're a board.
Okay.
We don't make decisions. We agree. We either approve it or we don't approve something.
So nobody's slipping you 100 to get their kid an A.
No.
Has anybody else ran for
Get me in
anything?
trouble. No, I'm just
Have you run for anything besides being a pastor? Like,
No, I mean, no.
no.
I mean, if you're talking about in the township, through the years, I've had a couple people ask me about this particular position or that particular position. Would you run? But no, I mean, I ran for class treasurer, and
Did you?
back in back in the day, and
Did you get it?
class president. I was class president, but it's because nobody ran against me, so it was like it's like a
funny.
victory, but it's
was never involved in any
It is.
political, never. And that's a good thing about our board. We are not very we all get along. We
Good.
have
That's
a very good board, a very good community. As far as there's never really anything that comes
nobody
up that-
wants their taxes to go up. And,
Nobody does.
but that's just the reality,
Right.
I mean,
Well, it affects everybody.
so, I mean, we just just realistically, we just got
I'm
our new
smiling because of the conversation that we just had.
we just got our new
Yeah.
tax bill, and and you go on Maple Shade Neighbors or something, you'll see somebody saying the largest increase was school.
yeah.
Mhm.
But there's also you sit here and go, well, I don't expect it to go down.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you're going to benefit if that kid is going to do well or not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And there's always
the
There's always
school
that
is
balance. Right.
important.
You want it
Yeah.
matters. It matters.
It matters.
And the
for
whole
sure.
town reflecting on it that way.
Yeah.
How long's Beth? It was kind of about Lynda, but it's also with Beth has been our
Sure.
superintendent of schools because
I want to say 8, 9. No, wait. If I've been on 10, I don't know, maybe 11, 12 years, possibly.
if the board gives oversight to her, I just want we think she's great.
I love that.
I mean, she has, and
I do
even
love
for
Beth.
us, she has,
she's an
she's
asset.
always-
to our-
and
our
and she,
district.
and she handles things
Mhm.
with so she'll I've several times been into it where she's just willing to let's talk, let's listen to each other, let's
Yeah.
see. I just think she's
Yeah,
terrific.
she's great.
I don't have any kids in the school that are going to benefit from.
I feel
you
like
know,
all our administration over there is amazing.
Yeah.
They're all incredible.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to. I've always been with Maple Shade, but
yeah, no,
they really are.
it's a-
And again, they're about the kids. It's
Right.
making sure the kids are, succeeding.
I've always felt that there's a good response from the
Mhm.
whole board of ed office.
Yeah.
So do you guys meet there in that building?
We meet at the high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Our single, our little committees meet at the board office, but our actual Board of Ed meetings are in the cafeteria.
Okay.
Next meeting,
All right.
next Wednesday
Okay.
night, if anybody would
Bill,
like
I
to go
expect you to
down.
be there.
Plug-
Bill,
Plug it.
It'll already be done.
Oh, that's right.
Bill, will you be?
Well,
our-
it's usually the third Wednesday of every month.
There
I
you
think
go.
you should be our roving reporter, and you should go
Yeah.
on site.
Yeah.
Here I
Go
am
on
at
site.
the Maple Shade Board of Ed.
I am with out of the sanctuary. Out of the sanctuary.
Out of the sanctuary.
Not only that, we are outside of the sanctuary studios.
Yeah.
Beyond the sanctuary.
So years ago, I actually ran for town council.
Oh
And it's
my.
because I kept every year I would see that the one party was unopposed
Mm-hmm.
every single year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to run on the opposite side. I'm not going to do anything. I hope I don't get it. I'm not going to literally do
So
anything.
you ran for office
So I ran for office.
officially?
Officially, I put in my paperwork.
Your name was
your
on
name
the
on
My
ballot?
name was on the ballot. During the actual ballot. It was
That's
during
amazing.
an actual presidential election that my name was on there with like a
Wow.
big one.
Oh.
And so I went unopposed. And all of a sudden,
Great.
I start noticing that all the people going against me started putting signs out and stuff because they never did that before because they were going unopposed.
See, now you got people
I'm
with signs up.
driving and there's signs with their names on it. And then one night it's raining. I'm watching.
Say no to Merkh.
I'm
Down
watching.
with the Merkh.
I'm watching the NFL Network. The doorbell rings. I go to the doorbell. I go to the door, and a couple guys were there with umbrellas. It's raining, and they go, "Are you coming out to vote on Tuesday?" And I said, "I sure am." And they said, well, are you voting blah, blah, blah? And I said, oh, no, I'm voting for the other guy. And they said, oh, why are you voting for him? And I said, well, I'd hate to wake up in the morning and look in the mirror. And
No, you didn't get a single vote.
I didn't even vote for myself. And they went, you're running against us? And I said, yeah. And then why? And I said, well, you guys are out here right now. And so I did it. And then when I went to vote, they were all standing outside and, hey, make sure you vote. And I was like, hey, guys, how are you? And they're like, you jerk. I went in. I voted for myself.
Papers some sign.
Oh, yeah. I went in.
Vote for me.
Yeah, right. I didn't want any votes because
Sharpie.
all I was thinking was, what's going to happen if what if I get elected?
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to step down. I'm not going to do it. So I actually lost by like 150 votes. There was over 900 and some votes for me.
That's amazing.
And I didn't do a thing. Not one thing.
Now, imagine
Oh,
if you
my
would put
word.
the effort in.
Right.
See?
So then
See?
the party,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, the other party my party started actually running and then winning. And then they were really having like real
Wow.
things. See
Hey,
sides
this
of it.
nobody
And I
got
was
some
like,
votes. Eh?
yeah, right. I'm a nobody. Who cares? Anyway, so there you go. There's my
I'm trying to think.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. No. Was it Board of Ed? Anyhow, one of the elections. You know how you can write in a name?
Yeah.
I wrote in, because I wanted to tell her. I wrote in Paula Barban. I came to her at church.
to our church.
I came to her at church
Very
and
nice
I said,
lady.
Paula, I want you to know if anybody reaches out to you, I voted for you.
So yeah,
Well, Ray was very
Oh,
excited
my
that my
goodness.
name is on the same ballot with this past
election.
election.
Okay.
He kept the ballot because
There
my
you
name's
go.
on there with
Now we go.
like
It's
history.
yeah, save it. That's
Everybody's
Yeah.
like, Mom, on the same ballot as,
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey,
That's awesome.
yeah. If you get on there.
so
Our
Bill
little
had run-
celebrity.
Bill has on his resume can put lost an election
I lost an
on
election.
Board of Ed. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Board of
No,
Ed. I was
Township
going for
Council.
Town council. Oh, yeah. It was-
Yeah. But
Man.
yeah, I don't.
That's even
I was
more
a-
legit.
No, I was a nobody.
I mean, no,
I'm a nobody.
you were
I was-
nobody.
Oh, yeah.
Town council was
Yeah.
a legit.
I
thing.
can't even get on the deacon. Anyway.
We're proud of you, Lynda.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
serve-
Back to Lynda.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We're proud of you that you serve
Thank you.
there, and that's we
we
know,
appreciate
it-
you.
It's good to have someone like
It's
you
a thankless,
in an
but-
education
Yeah.
area,
yeah.
space,
Thank you.
Yeah.
in the education
Well,
space.
and that note, we're actually going to take a break. But when we come back,
When we come back,
we're actually going to be talking about Lynda is also a cancer survivor.
yes,
Yeah.
So that we'll get a little bit deeper and hopefully not laugh as much because that would just be
We
awkward.
got to
Oh,
laugh
boy.
about it.
Unless she wants us to, and we
Yeah.
will.
Oh, we'll laugh
Yeah.
at you.
All good.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway,
Well, we will be right back after this important
message.
Welcome to Emmanuel Baptist Church, where our focus has been building strong lives in Jesus Christ since 1925, right here in Maple Shade, New Jersey. With 2 Sunday services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., you can choose the time that works best for you. And if you have children, our Greenhouse Kids Ministry and Nursery are available during the 11 a.m. service, so you can worship without distractions. But that's not all. On Sunday mornings at 10 a.m., we offer Sunday school classes for all ages. And if you're looking for a midweek pick-me-up, we have a variety of events on Wednesday nights. For more information on all of our programs and events, visit our website at ibclife.org. Follow us on social media and check out our weekly bulletin. And there's one more way to stay connected with us. Download our Church Center app. With this convenient app, you can stay up to date on all of our events and register for programs. Emmanuel Baptist Church, building strong lives in Jesus Christ.
Okay. Welcome. Wow.
We were genuinely laughing, and you did the.
We were.
Welcome back.
Excuse
Welcome
me.
back. That was the most exciting commercial you've ever heard.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it was far more exciting off camera our
Correct.
commercials here. But
Okay,
anyhow,
so then do you want to?
We have fun.
Should we bring that up?
so anyhow, cancer survivor, right?
Yes.
Go ahead, Bill. What do you?
Wow,
What's that?
that
Not
is
you.
the greatest
Hey,
transition.
No, what I mean is you
Bill.
said before the break that
No,
we're
no,
going to
we're gonna talk about cancer.
Lynda
Yeah.
and what God brought her
Sorry,
through.
Lynda.
Yeah.
So tell us about your cancer and
Experience.
experience.
Oof.
Yeah, I wrote down a question that I had in mind was your first thought after your diagnosis.
Well, when was the diagnosis?
Okay.
Let's
That's
get into
also
that
another
first.
question. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
I
So
try.
pandemic started March and I was diagnosed in May. So backtracking, I don't have family history of it. Never really took care of myself as far as getting, my mammograms or anything. Waited until I was about 43. I had my first mammogram.
Which is they say is normal, right? At the normal
it was
age.
40, but it's like 40 to 45.
Okay. Okay, so you go in.
So I go
Sorry.
in. No, you're fine. So I went, had my mammogram.
Mhm.
There, I had dense tissue, which is it
Mhm.
can be normal, but they just like to keep an eye on it because it can turn into cancer.
Okay.
Come back 6 months. I didn't. Went to my family doctor 3 years later.
Wait. You had the mammogram.
Had the
Had the
mammogram.
tissue.
Had
Didn't
the
go
tissue,
back.
Did not go back because.
Okay.
Hey, look, these
This
are
is
all learning
normal.
lessons for
You've
people.
been not needing to look
No
at
family
anything.
history. Don't
Why
need
would
to
you go
work.
back?
Yeah,
I
And
wouldn't.
kids,
I would be
life.
like, okay, I'm not going. Like, why would I need to go back?
Soccer,
Mhm.
Go to bed.
Exactly.
Okay. Everything.
You're a woman in the town.
So this is 2020.
So this
you're
is
talking.
okay. So
Okay.
this was prior to 2020. 2020, I go to the doctor. It's like March, April.
It's been 3 years.
Been 3
since the
years
mammo-
since
okay.
the mammogram.
Okay.
I go to the doctor and he said, you need to go get your mammogram again. And I'm like, nah. He's like, it's been 3 years. I'm like, no, it's only been like a year. He's like, no, really. That's how time
Yeah.
went for me.
Yeah.
So I went, and they did the ultrasound. I had the mammogram. They did an ultrasound. They called me into the room and they said, we found that the dense tissue has grown since the last time. It was really deep. So they
Okay.
couldn't feel it or anything. But so I didn't feel it. So I said, okay. So the radiologist at the time called the office. He was not on location, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, he called while I was standing in there and he said, yeah, so it's grown a little bit since your last mammogram. He said, I think you should have an MRI. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, but it's up to you. You can either do the MRI or you can come back in 6 months and have it checked again. And I'm like, well, what would you do?
Yeah.
And he said, well, I'd probably have the MRI. I'm like, okay.
Well, then I'll book it.
I was going to have the MRI anyway.
Yeah.
Like if you're telling me I should
Yeah.
have
If
it, but
something's
then
growing
telling
in my
me-
body.
I
that's
wouldn't
not
even have
supposed to be there.
suggested 6 months.
Yeah.
Anyway, luckily it's a slow growing one. But
Okay.
yeah, so I go, I have the biopsy, the MRI.
Mhm.
I knew reading the results myself, but I hadn't talked to a doctor yet. So my doctor in May, my family doctor, after the biopsies and everything, May
Mhm.
26th of 2020, he called and said, you have breast cancer, which I kind of knew at that time.
Mhm.
I called, got an appointment with a breast doctor at Penn in Cherry Hill, Penn Medicine, who a friend of mine that I went to high school with had already had breast cancer and went through it.
Mhm.
She recommended him. So
Okay.
called, got an appointment, but it was like 2 weeks later. So for 2 weeks, I stressed. I
Mhm.
cried. I
Mhm.
had my kids, my
Well,
kids were
your kids were
motherless.
still in high school at the
Right.
like.
Yeah.
Go down that
Yeah.
road.
I went
Right.
down that rabbit hole. I didn't,
Mhm.
I just was so depressed. It was,
Yeah.
because I knew what it was.
Right.
I hadn't talked to a doctor. I didn't know what kind it was. I didn't know how bad it was. I didn't know anything about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, Kayla was 16.
Mhm.
Marissa was 18 and Jules was 20,
Okay.
something like that. Now, meanwhile, so that was May. A week later, Jules was diagnosed with thyroid cancer.
Hmm.
So her doctor had found a lump. She's my
Mhm.
oldest. I had had a lumpectomy done. We decided, after talking to the doctor, I talked to him on June. He
Mhm.
said, June 1st, I think it was. And he said, look, you're fine.
Mhm.
He was like, you have the best cancer, which is estrogen, progesterone positive, HER2, which is a gene negative.
Hmm.
Perfect. He's like, we'll do a lumpectomy And
This was for the
maybe
breast cancer?
radiation for the breast
Okay,
for
okay.
the breast cancer. He said it'll be fine. I go and have that done. He comes back and he says the tissue is still positive. There was more than what we thought.
Oh,
You have to have another lumpectomy. I said, okay.
okay.
Meanwhile, Jules has to go in for her surgery.
Mm.
So I kind of pushed mine off
Yeah,
for a
right.
little bit, got
Yeah.
her done. It was all in the summer of 2020,
Oh, my
pandemic.
word.
I couldn't go with her. I could go with the hospital. I was able to go with her for her surgery, and I think Ray went with mine, but one visitor.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Yeah.
just that time we were in. So yeah, I had another lumpectomy, and then the doctor said, okay, well, since you had 2 lumpectomies now, you're going to have chemo. And I'm like,
Okay.
all right. So, I'm talking to
Yeah.
the oncologist. Now it's, August of 2020. I'm on, I have to have 8 rounds
Yeah.
every other week.
Now, you also kept an online journal,
I did.
and I read it faithfully.
Yeah, I
when
kept
you
it
were
through
going
Caring
the
Bridge.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a very hard time for you, I'm sure, but you still brought
sure.
joy.
Yeah.
It's odd to say I enjoyed reading it, but I knew you were going through such a hard time. I enjoyed reading anything that you were, putting out.
Wow.
Thank you.
I remember one time you had to have some kind of port put in, and they didn't
Yep.
do it the way they should have. It was supposed to be painless, and you said it was.
It was my very first chemo.
Yeah, that
treatment.
was it. That
Yeah.
was it. And you said, I remember
So they
you
put the
saying,
port in, but because when he did the when he did the second lumpectomy, I think it was, I can't even remember now, but he did the port, but he had me laying down to do the port. So when he did it, it was deep and it was on an angle.
Mhm.
So when I went in for my first chemo treatment, didn't know anything about lidocaine cream. They didn't tell me.
Okay.
So the girl that did it, who I actually work with now, and she said she remembers because I was like her first stick. I was like, oh, God.
Great.
Didn't know that then.
Yeah.
But she couldn't
Those are
get
things they
it.
don't tell
Like
you.
3 people, and it hurt at that point. And I mean, I was in tears. I had
Yeah.
a mask on. It was just awful. And I was just to the point where if you can't get this in,
We're not doing
we're
this.
not doing it.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
but they did. They finally got it in, and then I learned about the lidocaine cream, and everything was
Yeah.
fine after that. But yeah, so I started chemo August. I don't remember the date. Sorry, Bill.
That's okay. August.
That I don't remember the date.
Cut this whole thing
Really
out.
well.
I know it's done. Forget it.
that.
Podcast.
We
is
don't, we
awful.
don't need to hear. No, it's not. It's great.
No.
Subscribe, like.
Yeah. Share.
Yeah. I'm only in it for the money.
Yeah,
It was all
yeah.
money.
Producer, marketing department, and legal department.
Yeah, so I was supposed to be on 8 rounds of chemo. I did my 4 rounds of AC, which is the strongest chemo, because we wanted to treat it aggressively.
Yeah.
So I got through those 4. Then I went on to Taxol, which was the second 4 every other week, but went into anaphylactic shock. So I had to go on to a different chemo, which took me another.
I'm not the
Weekly.
most. I don't know if my memory. I don't remember you like losing your hair. Did you lose?
Oh,
your
yeah, I was
Mhm.
bald.
Oh.
You posted a video
Yeah.
of shaving your head,
I
right?
remember.
Yeah, with your husband.
Yeah. So that was, losing my hair was traumatic. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
No,
that was
but-
hard to watch.
But I
That was
said, you know
hard.
what? Cancer is not going to take this
Right.
from me. I'm
Yeah.
going to do it myself.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That was a very powerful video.
my oncologist said, look, you're going to lose your hair probably within the next week or 2.
Oh.
And she was to the dot. It was 2
Wow.
weeks. And I will never forget it. I was driving with Juliana. We were going to Starbucks, and I like ran my hands through my hair, and a clump came out, and I looked at Jules and I'm like, we're shaving it tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we all went. We were upstairs in Kayla's room. I let them. Marissa cut the ponytail.
Mm.
They all took turns
Yeah.
shaving it.
Yeah.
Took it down to a 2. I was like, let's just go down to the 2.
Yeah.
And a week later, I took the razor to it because it
Wow.
actually hurt. Like the little pieces on there, my scalp was so tender
Mm.
that I just took the razor and
Just got rid of it.
got rid of it. And
Was that freeing in some way?
It was,
Although
because-
very painful emotionally, I'm sure.
emotionally, but I was like, there's no way cancer is going to take this from me too. I know people that will go through the process and let it come out like on its own. And I was just like, no way. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm getting rid of this. So
Yeah.
I did it.
I think
and-
about that
That's
moment of it,
powerful.
like that. I mean, what Scripture says, bear one another's burdens,
Mhm.
and you fulfill the love of Christ. And
Mhm.
to think of the dynamic of the impact on all of your daughters' lives.
Mhm.
Yeah.
probably if we had them here talking about that moment,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but the sense of genuine, just deeper love.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, the love was always there, but it forces you to a deeper love.
Absolutely.
It does. Well,
Yeah.
Kayla, we all know Kayla's, I'm obsessed with her hair.
Oh yeah.
She has
She's
the
got
long,
beautiful
beautiful
hair.
curly hair.
Yeah.
She said, Mom, I'm not shaving my head.
Yeah.
And Ray was like, I'll shave it. And Marissa's like, I'll shave. And I'm like, I am not going to be the bald family. We're not doing it. I was like, nobody has to shave their
No.
head.
Yeah.
I got my, it's done. You know,
Y'all
we
wear
don't-
the hair for me.
We all wear. Yeah, I know.
We're gonna point the family photo.
I didn't do the wig though. I know, right? I didn't do a wig. I'm too hot.
You owned it.
I didn't want a wig. I wore a cap for a while.
Yeah.
Wore hats and stuff, and then
That's
I was
probably
like,
what I'm remembering.
you
seeing
know
with
what?
like that.
I always had a hat, but then there was a point in time where I was like, why am I worried about what people think? I am
Mhm.
so hot with these hats on.
Yeah.
So I went to the Gloucester outlets with Julianne. I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to not wear my hat.
Yeah.
And not one person stared at me except for this one woman sat on a bench and gave me like a dirty look. And I
Oh.
just like gave her a dirty look back and whatever.
Mhm.
And then I gradually worked my way back up to Maple Shade. And
Good for you.
then I would go out, and the first time I went out bald in Maple Shade was to Wawa, and I ran into Beth
my
and
word.
Portia
Oh my.
and Mike Blake, our BA. And I was just like, oh,
Of all the people, you mean?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
all the people. But I didn't care. They didn't care. They knew I was going through it. And
Yeah.
and at that time, like, you know, like I went or meetings and stuff. I was online. I wasn't coming to church
Mm.
because of at that time. I think we were doing maybe 25 people.
Yeah.
Or
whatever.
they might have opened it up, but we had the 2 services. But
Mhm.
I didn't want to be around
No, and if you're feeling
people.
like
I was going
immunity's
through
beat
chemo.
down and all
Yeah, like I mean, even going to Marissa played soccer up in Jersey City, the college up there, and even going there, I would sit away from people,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to get
You just-
sick,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, but. And
Yeah.
Ray working at ShopRite, I was, he'd come home, they'd get changed right away.
Yep.
Jules was in
Mhm.
nursing school.
Mhm.
I'm like, you need to get
Take the
changed.
clothes off,
take
wash
the clothes off.
hands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
all
at
the
ShopRite,
things,
so,
yeah.
all
You got to
kinds
be
of people.
precautious.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they, you said something in the kind of the beginning of the journey where, you get the diagnosis and
Yeah.
you're dying and you're leaving your family.
Oh,
and kids.
sure.
Mhm.
And it's one of the things that I've with numerous occasions in so many different settings with people, just trying to remind them that if you're not facing death, well, we all are facing death, but I
Yeah.
mean, if you're not, God's going to give you the grace to deal with what you're dealing with.
Yes.
So even with, I could think of a time in our years back in our marriage where Greta got a medical score that made her thinking, oh no. And in her mind, she, go to that place where she's down to 60 pounds and the kids are sitting around her bed crying. And I say to her, "Hon, if you're asking God to give you the grace to deal with that, you're not dealing with that.
Yeah.
He's not going to give you he's giving you the
I
grace
wasn't
to deal
asking
with.
God though.
Yeah. What I
I
mean,
was in a very dark spot for
I
those
just
couple
meant
weeks.
he offers to meet us where we are. And
Yeah.
and the Gethsemane was a dark spot for
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's our minds can't wrap around how he's 100% God and 100% man, but
Mhm.
in his humanity, in his Lord Father, take this away from me.
Mhm.
It was a dark moment of
I never once said, like even when I first found out, I was never like, why me? Why God are you doing
Mhm.
this to me? If anything, why not me? I mean, it's,
Mhm.
we all go through stuff. At that point in time, for those first like couple weeks where I didn't really know what was going on,
Mhm.
and where my life, like I said, I thought I was dead.
Where this
Like,
was gonna
I
go.
didn't know anything about breast cancer back then and how far they've come since back in the 90s, even
Mhm.
on when, if you had a breast cancer diagnosis, you were gone pretty much,
Mhm.
and I didn't, so I was at that dark place. But then once I like figured out where I was at, okay, now we have a plan.
Yeah.
The plans changed. It was a lumpectomy, then it was chemo, then it was, all right, well, since you had the chemo, you might want to get a mastectomy because it lowers your chance of it coming back again. Okay, fine. Well, now because you went through the chemo and the mastectomy, you should have radiation.
Mhm.
Like things kept adding on, but I was focused at that point. And I was like, okay, God's got this. And from the time I talked to the doctor till now, but till the end of my last, radiation treatment, which was, May 17th of 2021. I know those dates.
Yeah.
My cancer-free date is February 9th because that's when I had my mastectomy and they got rid of everything, which I'm glad I did because they found residual cancer when they did the mastectomy. So I'm so glad I did it because that was a big thing. Reconstruction was a big decision. Like, there are huge decisions in my life. I didn't know what I was going to do. But again, God, he was there and I just kept my focus on that. My thing, faith over fear. I had my Bible with me.
Right.
Just that's constant, and it just, it brought me out of it.
Right.
So what would you say to somebody that maybe is listening that is going through it now? Like they just found out. Would you have any advice, or I know I'm
my advice? No, my advice to anybody is, first of all, just one day at a time, and that's how I had to take a step back and just one day at a time. Whatever happens, happens. If their faith is with God, if they have the faith, then obviously, just keep your eye on God. He's got you. If you don't have that faith, keep your eye on God because He's got you. You know what I mean? I don't know, but
what would you say to a caregiver, someone whose mom, someone who's listening, their mom just got diagnosed, or their someone close to them? What was the most helpful for you during that time from those around you?
Yeah, so
what helped you the most?
Marissa was up at college, so she couldn't really do anything, but she would call, she would talk. She's my humor. She's my sarcastic little humor. So she kept things light.
Those are very
for me.
important.
Yes, people. Kayla. She was still in school. She's high school. She's doing her thing. She's but she would come home. Do you need anything? Jules was in nursing school, so she was like, let me do your drains, and let me bathe you, and let me do this and that. So she was. I didn't have any issues. What I would tell people, I know, trust me.
Sorry, God.
What I would tell people is to accept the help.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to help in their own way.
I agree.
And it's really hard, especially for me. I'm one that, I'm just one that's like, no, I don't need anything. I got it. I got it. But my sister-in-law made us dinner every Sunday. My mom, she made dinners for us, and Jules would take me to my appointments. She took me to every chemo appointment. She couldn't go with me. I wasn't allowed to have anybody there, but she would drop me off, pick me up. I would just, that would be my
Accept the help and ask for help.
the help, ask for help. People want to help.
Yeah.
They really do. I mean, people don't just say, oh, I'm there
They
for
do.
you. They
Yeah,
really want to
They
help.
do. Yeah.
So that's that. And like I said, just one day at a time. You can't change. You can't change it. You just got to go with it.
Yeah.
Right. This is what the Lord's put this in front of you, and it's okay, Lord.
Pray.
You're I'm trusting you. And for me, anything, this or everything, is different when you have a relationship with the Lord. That the death factor is already settled. In other words, if this should take my life, I'll be with the Lord. And that doesn't mean, I think we may have said on the podcast, my dad, I don't know if we said it in the hospice one or not, but my dad would always say, I am 100% sure that when I die, I'm going to go be with the Lord. And it takes away that fear. But he said, but if a bus comes along right now and says, hey, we're going to heaven, I would say, is there one coming later? Because my humanity is, I love being here with my family. So,
exactly.
So, but I mean that aspect, and I share that for those who might be listening, just that there is no greater source there's no greater anchor than to know that what Jesus said, that I'm the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though they die, yet shall they live. When that becomes an anchor with that issue, then now the sense of, well, Lord, I want to be healthy again. I want my hair to come back. All those things are very real, and they're part of the journey. And He wants you to talk to him about that.
Oh yeah, I don't want to say I threw myself into him, but I did. My faith, which I thought was strong, was even stronger at that point. I just really just relied on him and just I tried being very positive and, you know, I had my moments. Not everybody saw it, you know, but I tried staying positive and just thinking, you know, God has this. It is what it is. There's nothing, I'm doing everything I can medically
right
that I can do. After that, it's out of my control.
Right.
You know,
and you can live in, listen, you can live in fear.
Yeah.
I know people who are like, fear. And I say, then go get a test. They get the test. The test is negative. Yeah, but what if next week? And it's like, sure. I've said every one of us might have little cancer cells in our body right now. We don't even know. They're just beginning. Like, you know, it's just, no.
That's going to be in the clip.
But I'm not going to lie. Like, I mean, the scans, you know, I always have things that come up. Like, you know, I have necrosis on the good side. I mean,
I don't know what
you know, necrosis is dead. It's really just dead cells, but they're hard. So they feel like lumps.
Like you knew.
They feel like lumps. You know? So, you know, I've had them checked like 3 or 4 times already, you know.
Mr. Donald. Oh, that's not a cross. Never mind.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. That's going to get us off the air.
Right.
And it was nice talking to you. Yeah. So like there's, you know, I get scanned. I have this, you know, I've lost weight. So now I have like this lump here. And I'm like, is that a bone? Is it a bone mass? You know, I see my oncologist again. I'm every 6 months now. So I see her in September and, you know, it's, you know, it's is she going to find something? Is she, you know, I get my blood.
So that worry
that'll
probably
never
going to go away.
4 years out. I'll be my 5 year in, you know, February. And, you know, I hear a lot of people and I got to stay off the internet, but you do hear a lot of people that they almost get to their 5 year and then they get a diagnosis. And I'm like, you know, so that it's just all these fears. But then again, it's like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
But if you had a mastectomy, then how, like,
because there's still microcells and I still have, I had 1 lymph node that was infected. So they did remove 16 of my lymph nodes when I had my mastectomy. But there's other spots like you have breast tissue all the way up into here.
Oh my gosh.
You know, like you can still get it. It's not as.
Are you really feeling for yourself?
What?
Well, let me tell you.
I'm talking to Vince, by the way.
It's okay because guess what? Men are becoming higher risk now.
That's fine.
Really?
You can do it after the podcast.
All right.
I don't need him.
I'll teach you how to do your self-exam.
Yeah, let's not self-exam on the podcast. Next
I'm
week's
going to leave before you do that.
You're going to learn to sit down.
We're going to bring in Mark McCleary, and he's going to do checks for us. It'll be live. Thank you, Mark.
After the 11 o'clock service, line up.
Yeah.
Just as I am. Come on forward. And you get, you know.
We're all going to be doing this.
I know everybody's going to be like feeling.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
that's what we thank God for your testimony.
And
when I was saying fear of anyone, like there's somebody who's when you've been through something, you obviously have this real thing that you've been told. This has had the potential of coming to take your life. Before all the age of testing, people didn't deal as much with anxiety because they
didn't know.
They weren't
They just
told.
simply didn't know.
This might be. They all knew something might take our lives, but they didn't have all that testing, which I'm glad for. I'm thankful for because it's extended life.
Well, that's what I can
as
say.
you said, I don't mean but I don't mean this belittling anything because it's a traumatic experience for everyone. But if a guy comes to me and says, "I have prostate cancer," I find myself not alarmed. I have to say to myself, this is what this person is facing, and it's a hitting them in the head.
Right.
But I know probably 50 of the last guys who told me they have it, they're still here.
Yeah.
And
They've
in
come a
my
long way
years
with
in
all this stuff,
pastoring, same thing like breast cancer. I've heard of so many women. But again, I'm a guy talking about breast cancer, and I don't want to. I'm aware that the personal traumatic impact of it, and knowing that it's going to impact your body.
Yeah.
You know, I just meant in the sense of my mind sometimes goes, okay, thank you. They've come such a long way. They're going to get through it in my mind.
Well, what I try to tell everybody, so, you know, I try to tell everybody, make sure you get your scans. It doesn't matter if you have family history or not. 85% of women that find out they have breast cancer do not have family history. And now I am the family history. My girls all have to be checked at 37. I was 47.
Okay.
Jules even earlier because of her thyroid cancer. She needs to be
I'm
checked
38.
at 30.
I'm 38.
Oh, you just need to go.
Oh.
Get your mammos. You know what? 5 seconds of uncomfortable is better than a year of, you know. I also, you know,
Did you just learn that she was 38? I watched your face go like, what? What?
No, if one of my kids was sitting there, they'd be like, I was just about to make a joke, but he didn't.
I was going to ask her age. I'm not asking anybody's age. You all look great.
52. Thank you.
Okay. Well,
No. So, and I would also say, you know,
Bill, you don't look a day over 60.
that's fair. I've lived
Neither
a
do
hard
you.
life.
Neither do you.
Oh,
Why, thank
He
you.
looks way older than 60. Are you kidding me? I've seen corpses look better. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. The makeup you do is amazing.
Nothing bothers me, Bill.
Yeah. Get your Botox.
I didn't hear. I
Oh, yeah.
didn't hear.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have tears. He has Botox.
He can't afford Botox.
That's right.
He's a pastor.
Just don't make fun of my height.
Can't touch
You're
that.
going to get into a fight.
Oh, really? You're too
Get in a
short.
fight over the height.
So, yeah, so that's just like that I could tell
So
people.
when you say that they've come a long way, if anyone knows who this was, I want to know because I'm forgetting. But there is a story, maybe it's not real, of a either queen or princess that lived obviously centuries ago, you know, and
Recently.
or
It was just funny when you're going, could have been a queen, could have been a princess, could be a real person, may not be. But go ahead, keep going with the
Short, tall, fat, skinny.
invested in this. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
it was someone who lived a long time ago, and it was a woman.
Yeah.
And her stomach got swollen, and they thought that she was pregnant with an illegitimate child. She died. She had stomach cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
There you go. They
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah, they had this.
Thanks for.
She was put like by her. She was not taken care of, and they had no idea what was wrong, and they thought she was
I mean, there's no excuse nowadays with all the
obviously,
testing
this
we
was
have.
like horse and
Yeah.
carriage.
I know. Like my whole thing was always
I'm a millennial, Bill. Okay.
We know.
Anyway, go ahead.
my
Lynda.
whole thing, you know, like with this stuff we have now, there's no excuse. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
My excuse was life happened,
Yeah.
you know, but looking back now, if you can't take care of yourself, how are you going to be there for your family? So it's just so important to get your scans done. One in
That's a good word.
8 women, actually, I think it's 1 in 4
Get your
now
scans.
will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. Now that could be when you're 80, that could be when you're 90, it could be when you're 50. But just take care of yourselves. Learn your body. Learn if something is off, don't think, oh, it's nothing. Get it checked. That's just, you know, like I said, 5 seconds of an uncomfortable mammogram. And most likely anybody that's getting their mammogram for the first time, because they have nothing to compare it to, they're going to tell you to come back in 6 months anyway. They're just going to. That doesn't mean there's anything on there. It doesn't mean they're going to tell you because they want to compare it. So, you know, it's just, you know.
But also hearing this podcast, don't let it toss you into a world of, well, it could be like that sense of panic and anxiety. Just you are. I've often said, if somebody told me today you have cancer, I would have to hopefully say, well, nothing's different between me right now and who I was 5 minutes ago before you told me. So it's still the same person. You've just told me something that now I'm facing.
Yeah.
And now,
and it can be,
I have to.
it can be easier said than done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like the process.
I didn't mean that I was like, oh, it wouldn't bother.
No, I know
didn't
what you mean.
belittle it. I meant
No,
the
I
sense
know.
of, okay, now I got to face all the fears
Right.
and the journey
You're still
with
the
it.
same person.
But
as
yeah,
before.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still have the same heart,
exactly.
same mind.
And if I was cheerful this morning, I could be cheerful now.
Right.
Just because you gave me information about what I'm facing.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And
You are the king of
and
perspective.
you do just have to try and keep a positive attitude because, and again, as hard as that is, you got to try and stay positive because if you're not, you're just going to be brought down. It's going to bring you into a bad space.
Yeah.
Like I tried to keep it, anytime I was getting in that, like, it was, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Get your head back in.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Lord,
Yeah.
for all this
Right.
medical knowledge that we
Yeah.
can now
Yeah.
go into,
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you for coming. We
Thanks for
appreciate
having me.
you coming. And
We don't know whether we're going to title this podcast, the Board of Ed,
I have a
or
pretty
the
good name, I
cancer.
think. We'll figure it out. But
I
anyway,
do have a team, I do
Well,
have a making strides against breast cancer in October.
you-
October 19th, we have a walk.
Give us a plug.
Okay, yeah.
We will, before you go get
Give
your
us a
scan.
plug.
Yeah, a plug for what she's
Oh,
doing.
okay.
Uh,
Gotcha.
October
But
1st starts breast cancer awareness. This will probably be after that, but
Okay.
starts
No, it'll be before.
and then my walk, the breast cancer awareness is Cooper River, October 19th.
All
I have a
right.
team.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
We're 100% right with you.
Yeah.
We're supporting you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And on that note, please go get your scans, but subscribe. I don't know.
And
Yeah.
share.
And
Yeah.
share.
And share.
Yeah.
And share.
Watch.
And don't
Seriously.
forget to share.
Don't
And-
forget to
and-
share.
And find your peace and hope in God. Go
I
ahead.
just subscribed on YouTube today.
Did you?
Really?
I've been subscribed.
Okay. See ya.